All right, so if you are somebody who's ever thought about making a living from their music and you want to know how to do it, I am on a journey to do that within 3 years. And this video is going to show you all the details of my Q3 wrap up in year one. So you can see the progress I'm making, you can see the lessons learned, and all of those things. So if you are somebody that wants to make a living from your music, you definitely got to watch this video. Let's go. So before we hop into the results of Q3, I want to share the goals that I set at the beginning of 2025, and then I'm going to show you the 3-year plan so you understand exactly where we're trending and what we're trying to do and what our long-term goal is, so you can see how it fits into the overall picture. So at the very beginning of this year, that's when I decided, hey, I don't want to work at my 9-to-5 anymore. I want to do music full-time, and this is my year one goals that I set. I said, hey, I want to make at least $5K in music revenue. I want to make 20 new quality contacts in the music licensing industry. I want to start a good relationship with at least one new music library, and I wanted to have 150 tracks in music libraries. I've already done the first one. The second one I've already done as well, and I'm going to a conference called Shades of Sync in Atlanta in November the 14th and 15th. If you're interested in getting your music into TV and film and things like that, I highly suggest that you join me in that conference, and I'll include a link where you can learn more about it if you're interested in that. And then start a good relationship with at least one new music library. I've done that. I've up to four music libraries that I'm currently working with. And these are the ones that are exclusive, that have relationships with music supervisors, not just the ones that are, non-exclusive, like royalty-free, more like stock music libraries. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking more about people that actually have relationships with film and TV industry people. All right. So year one, build the catalog, start new relationships. As far as the 150 tracks, I'm trending a little bit behind on that. I think I'm going to end up with more like 125 by the end of the year, but I'll keep you updated on that as well. But this is year one, build the catalog, start new relationships. Year two, build relationships and become indispensable. And then year three, level up and cash in. I mean, those are general guidelines, but this is what I said at the beginning of the year. Then I got with ChatGPT and I was like, can you create something that's more tangible, that's more of a roadmap that really lays it out? So this is what we came up with. I'm not going to go over all the details. Let's just focus on year one. But, the primary goal was to get 500 to 1,000 a month from Sync. YouTube, I'm working on monetizing my YouTube. I'm on the way to that. Affiliates, I made a little bit of money with that. And then Dance School Music is another business that I've launched where I edit music for dance schools, for competitions, do mashups and things like that. So the key actions is create this much music. Got an email campaign going to dance schools. Attend the Sync Producer Hub live reviews. If you don't know what Sync Producer Hub is, that is a community run by Anthony Clint Jr., who has a ton of experience and success in the sync space. But even more important than that, we have all of us together are killing it in sync, and we're helping each other do it. So, there are courses there, there's a program there, all of that type of stuff. If you're interested in that, I highly suggest you check that out as well. I'll include a link in the description. But weekly submissions, follow-ups, all of that, right? It says CRM follow-ups, but this is more email. ChatGPT thinks I have a CRM, like a customer relationship management tool, and I do not. But email follow-ups, weekly submissions, so we're where we need to be for that. YouTube channel, I'm at about 700 subscribers and close to 1,000 watch hours, and you need 4,000 watch hours in a year's time, and 1,000 subscribers to become monetized. So I'm on my way. I made some progress there. Affiliate marketing, I've had a couple of affiliate things come in for me this year. Not a lot, but it's good to supplement your income. And then Dance School Music. I have a virtual assistant that's been doing a lot of cold emailing for me. And so I've gotten some responses, but I haven't had a sale yet. But I'll keep you updated as that grows as well. And then year 2, $2K to $4K a month, scaling up these businesses that I have going on. And then year 3, $6,000 a month. Right, that's the ultimate goal. If you look at this chart, I know this probably isn't the most entertaining video if you're not a numbers and chart person. If you're trying to make money in music, I know that you're probably more of the creative type. But if you really want to make this happen, think of it this way. Do you want to wake up every day making money for somebody else, having somebody else tell you what to do, right? Let's say you don't show up to work on time, right? That would negatively impact your role and your ability to make money, and you would not make the people that you work for happy. So what do? You build the habits to make sure you show up to work on time every day so you can keep making that income. So why are we so focused on keeping the goals of other people and supporting their dreams when we will not keep our own, right? If you tell yourself, be your own boss, right? If you tell yourself, I'm going to work on music for at least an hour, 3 times a week after work, right? And you don't keep that promise to yourself. Think of yourself as your own employer. You're letting them down, and obviously your business is going to fail if you don't hold yourself accountable. Be your own boss, right? That's what this comes down to. But once you do get there, once you are making a living full-time with your music, you're going to have the freedom to take lunch whenever you want, right? Take a day off. If there's a day off and you don't have any pending deadlines, you can go for walks, I mean, I'm all about freedom, and I'm all about being creative. So if you're like me, all of these numbers and all of this boring stuff is what you need to do this. So I know it might be a little tedious to watch, and I got charts and graphs and whatever, but if you don't create a plan like this, it's going to be a lot harder for you to hold yourself accountable, track your progress, celebrate those wins along the way, right? So this is just the 3-year income tracker. Here, let me back it up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Basically, I want to get to about $80,000 a year by the end of Q4, and it's a snowball effect, right? The more you grow, the more you build these relationships, the more music you make, the faster you get at it, right? And then also I'm launching the dance school music business as well. All of those types of things will grow and grow and grow, and eventually we will get to this point by the end of the 3 years. 3 years is a lot longer than you think it is, so keep that in mind. Year 1, I just wanted to, by the end of Q4, I wanted to have made $5,000. $5,000 is the hardest to make. The very first $5,000, right? And I have a snowball plan. I'm counting on the snowball to scale up to 80,000 by the end of 3 years. So far, this is our progress. Q1, I made 722. Q2, I made 1,023. And Q3, I didn't make this much within the quarter. This is progressively along the year. And then when a new year starts, we're resetting, right? But yeah, I've already cleared my 2025 goal of $5,000. So celebrate, right? Here, I'll put in some sort of celebratory thing now. Okay, cool. So celebrate these types of things. If you create a plan and you're tracking your progress, make sure that you are celebrating along the way. It helps you affirm that you are on the right track and that you are exactly where you need to be in this part of the process. Okay, so let's look at Q3. That's what this whole video is all about. Let's see how we did in Q3. This is where I track my the subscriptions I pay, the things I bought this year that are related to my music business. You can see the expenses are pretty high, and I think that is going to be true for anybody, especially early on. So we'll be taking a harder look at profit once we get further down the road with this. But that is definitely part of the picture as well. I'm only at $815 profit. But in a first year of a business, making a profit is very, very hard to do, actually. Most people invest a lot more in the beginning of any business. The cool thing about getting your music into TV and film is if you already have the equipment, you already have the gear, you already have the skill, it's a lot cheaper to start your business. Okay, so let's look at the results. All right, so here are the things that I'm tracking. These are the things that I feel like are most important to me as I grow this business. This could change for next year, right? Once we set next year's goals. But for Q3, my total income just for this quarter was $4,355. The majority of that was made from consideration fees that I got for one album that I created of hip hop sports stuff. It was $300 a track at 10 tracks, right? So that's $3,000. And then I had a pretty significant royalty payment from ASCAP from Q4 of last year, where I got a lot of placements. So, both of those things coming in helped us get us over the goal for the entire year by the end of Q3. In Q2, I only made $301. So keep in mind, you're going to have those dips, those quarters where it's like, ugh, nothing's happening, nothing's growing, and that's when you will want to give up. That's when you're going to say, this is not working, right? That's why it's important to create this plan and track your progress, because nothing is just a straight line up, right? It's going to be dips, there's going to be valleys, there's going to be, big influxes that you weren't expecting, right? It's all part of it. So keep that in mind. You're going to have slow quarters and you're going to have big quarters. So year to date, that's the 5,378 that we're at. Here's my expenses. I did have a lot more expenses here. I bought a few plugins and things that I feel like are going to help me land more sync deals and start growing those relationships. And to me, that was worth the investment. So this is my profit, as I mentioned before. Here's the royalty payments I was talking about. So in Q2, there were only $259, and it was the majority of the total income. This time it was $1,300, right? And that brings our royalties up to this for the year so far. Beat business, had a little bit here. I have not been, I think I've added maybe 1 or 2 new beats to my beat store this entire year. And the reason is you have to, it's better to do one thing 100% than it is to do, 10 things 10%, right? You're just going to do a bunch of things mediocre. Nothing's really going to give you your chance to grow. My main thing is sync music, and that's what I've been putting all of my focus on, and that's why this number is low, but I am okay with that. I want to make sure that I'm growing the royalties and the consideration fees, because what I made in this quarter from that is more than I've ever made from my beat business. So keep that in mind. YouTube income, there is none yet because I am not monetized. I don't think this is going to be a big part. It's just going to be a little bit of a revenue stream, like supplemental. I don't expect a lot from this. Building the YouTube is more about getting my name out there, building relationships, networking, helping others, that type of thing, because I do have a plan to grow a coaching business, after I've left my 9-to-5 job. I want to help others do the same thing. So YouTube is part of that. So it's more of a long-term strategy. Placements in Q3 was 7, and in Q2 it was 31. So my royalty payment from Q3 of 2025, which comes in normally about 6 months later, not good, right? There was not a lot happening here. And I do want to talk about that just a little bit. Here is my music and libraries tracker. So, and here are the, full disclosure, here are the music libraries that I've been working with. That 1,000 and that large royalty payment I got from this library. It's called Sound Manipulations Inc. And I did just a ton of crime music for them, like ambient underscore tension, that type of stuff. That's perfect for investigative reporting and crime shows and things like that. So here are all the tracks that I did for them, and I really went hard, making sure I made a lot of music for them. But in Q3, I just didn't see much. I don't see a lot of placements coming in, right? So you have to have kind of that test and learn mindset when you do this. Like that's why you build new relationships with other libraries to see what's working and what's not. You have to know what's working. This is Hard Music Group is a Canadian-based company, and they work with Canadian composers only. And they're the ones that gave me consideration fees for my tracks. that $3,000 payment, and then these are the 10 tracks that I have with them. So I'm going to be watching closely to see if any of those get placed. Spider Cues is another one. I did a kind of a chamber quartet underscore album for them, so I'll keep an eye out on that and see if there's any placements there. And then Empath is another female-owned music library as well, and I have a few tracks with them, right? So in the next few months, it's going to tell us a lot about what's working, what's not, what placements come in, and all of that. So you have to test and learn, see what's working. I'm still going to make more for sound manipulations. They've been great. They're easy to work with. They're really friendly and a great library to be a part of. But maybe it's my music, right? Maybe there's something about my music that's not getting played. So I have to take a hard look at that as well. But I am going to diversify a little bit more and do a little bit more test and learn in next year especially. Okay, so back to the results. Where are my results? Here we go. Quarterly results. Okay. So placements were very, very low this quarter. We'll see how they do in Q4. But we've had 58 placements this year so far, which I think is pretty low for an established music producer. But if you're just getting started and you're ramping up, I think that's pretty good for how much I've been concentrating on this. Pieces of music created. So far this year, I have made 78 pieces of music. I had some music already in libraries when I started the year, and I had an ultimate goal of 150 pieces of music in libraries working for me by the end of this year. I think it's going to be more like you saw here in the music in libraries. I'm at 102 right now. So I have to get these accepted and all of that. I'm probably going to make another 30 to 40 tracks in Q4, but we'll see how many of those land in libraries and what happens, right? But if you don't set those goals and you don't track it, you don't know how you're doing and you're not holding yourself accountable. So that's why we're doing it that way. Okay, and libraries attempted. So in Q2, I attempted a ton to build some new relationships. This quarter, I didn't contact that many, and that's because I have these 4 that I'm working with right now. I want to build relationships with them. I want to see if there's any opportunities I can uncover, if I can become part of projects and those types of things, and build, keep in close contact with them. So I'll probably in the start of the new year maybe look for 1 more music or 2 more, maybe 1 or 2 more libraries to start working with. But I would rather build relationships at this point because I'm beyond that just get into the industry part. And then libraries accepted. I was accepted into 2 last quarter, this quarter 0, and I have gotten accepted into 3 more this year, which I'm very, very happy with. When Highlight was that $3,000 deal that paid out this quarter, and I also launched Dance School Music. A little bit about that. So Dance School Music, like I mentioned before, you want to make sure that you're doing something 100%. This is something that could take a ton of time away from me and my goals in Sync Music. So what I've done is I did take maybe a week or 2 where I didn't make any music for Sync, and I just built out the entire website, the business and everything. I used ChatGPT to do that. I'll put a video together on how I did that as well, if it interests you. And then I have my virtual assistant who I'm paying something like $15 a week to email dance schools every day and offer my services. And we're going to identify maybe the top 200 to 300 that we want to work with. Keep emailing them, right? Like every couple weeks, my name pops up in their email. Maybe send them Christmas cards, that type of thing. But it doesn't take a ton of time for me, so I can still focus 100% on my sync stuff. Now, if work comes in, I'm willing to trade some time for money for the dance school business, right? Unless I've got some major project going on, I can always refuse work, right? But it's just another way to guarantee more income coming in. All right. Okay, cool. So that is it. I hope this has been helpful to you. I know it's numbers. It's not the fun part of music, but if you want to make a living doing this, you have to do this type of thing. You have to track your results. You have to track your spending. You have to track your finances, all those subscriptions, all those plugins you bought, all of that. Track that as well. It's really important so you know that you're not spending more than you can afford in your business. If you are trying to leave your 9 to 5 and do music full time, you are a business owner. So keep that in mind. That is what you are now. You are a business owner. So you have to have at least some kind of business acumen to make this work. I hope this has been helpful. Like I mentioned before, if you want to learn more about getting your music into TV and film, check out the Sync Producer Hub. I will include a link in the description so you can do that. Also, Shades of Sync. If you want to meet people in the industry, if you want to be part of that conference, I'll include a link to that as well. This video right here is going to show the Q2 results. So if you want to kind of backdate it and see where we were at the end of Q2 and compare it to this video, I'll put all of those in a playlist so we can just see the entire journey in a row. All right, cool. I hope this has been helpful. I will see you in the next video.